Thanks for tuning into another newly listed on the CSE clip. And today I'm joined by Rob Tessarolo. Rob is a newly appointed CEO of NeonMind Biosciences, the company listed late in December. So, Rob, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm great, Anil. Thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah, of course. You've just very recently joined the company. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, yes, as you mentioned, I joined Neon Biosciences just earlier this week as president and CEO. I've spent about 25 years in pharmaceuticals across multiple roles, leading startups as well as larger companies through operational execution and various scaling activities. I have extensive experience commercializing new products in small, mid, and large companies. I've worked in the U.S. and Canadian marketplaces, and importantly, for this assignment or this opportunity, I've got commercial and business development experience with obesity, addiction, and other neurological assets. I also, I like transactions. I've got lots of experience doing pharmaceutical deal transactions, asset licensing, R&D collaborations, and acquisitions of products and lots of companies.
Great. Thanks for that introduction there. But why don't you tell us a little bit about NeonMind Biosciences? What do you guys do and what's the vision?
Yeah, thanks. So NeonMind Biosciences is a psychedelic drug development company, and we're focused on conducting research into the potential therapeutic uses of psychedelic substances. We believe we're just scratching the surface of the potential for psychedelics to heal, and we think these treatments may help solve lots of humanity's biggest challenges, including addiction, depression, PTSD, and obesity. As a company, we've decided our first step is tackling one of the biggest health issues that the world faces in obesity. It's an epidemic, and it's responsible for nearly 37% of the total global burden of disease. We're conducting a preclinical trial currently at the University of British Columbia, examining psilocybin as a treatment for weight loss, and we're designing what we believe will be the world's first phase 2 human clinical trial using psilocybin to cause weight loss.
Got it. Obviously, there's a lot of buzz around this psychedelic sector. Why did you guys choose to go public?
Yeah, that's an important question, and lots of private companies get asked that question when they're thinking about tapping into the public markets. And for us, it really comes down to two main reasons. First, it provides liquidity to our current and our future investors, which we hope will be plentiful. But moreover, as a public entity, NeonMind can access the capital that's necessary to advance the development of these new psychedelic medicines. Despite the surging interest in the psychedelic industry, these are indeed early days with exciting opportunities. And as we've seen over and over again, when you combine an emerging industry with the capital markets, it drives a lot of investor attention, capital flows, and you can afford to invest in a lot of innovative ideas, and eventually you can have novel discoveries, and investors will be rewarded. Ultimately, for us at NeonMind, we're hopeful that this results in patients getting access to novel psychedelic treatments for their conditions. This is where we're at as a company, and we think the industry has enormous potential, and we're really this is really early in the effort.
Rob, can you talk to our audience about maybe a couple of key factors that differentiates a company like NeonMind Biosciences from some of the others in this space?
Yeah, so NeonMind has established, a very enviable position with our unique intellectual property portfolio and our distinctive focus on obesity. Our focus on using psilocybin as a treatment for obesity is quite novel. As I've mentioned, it's a significant problem in both the developed and developing world. And sadly, there are close to 3 million people die annually from being obese or overweight, and the problem is just getting worse. We know scientifically that psilocybin activates serotonin receptors, and serotonin can curb cravings, shut off appetite, and reduce eating. On the intellectual property front, we have several patents pending that cover the administration of psychedelic compounds to aid in weight loss, food cravings, and to treat obesity and complications. of compulsive food disorders. And we think that it's tremendously important in this industry to have the ability to protect our inventions, which will be key to value creation, over time as the psychedelic industry evolves.
Rob, are you able to talk to us a little bit about some of your key team members?
Yeah, right. So as we've already mentioned, I've recently joined NeonMind after being introduced to the company's dynamic founder Penny White, who was a former CEO. So Penny's a serial entrepreneur with over 2 decades of experience building companies. Under her leadership, NeonMind was successful in identifying novel areas for psychedelic research and pursued patent applications to protect the intellectual properties associated with these discoveries. And as I've gotten to know the board, which she's now the executive chairman of, I've found it to be a small group, strong director independence, of course, but with a cohesive view of supporting an entrepreneurial company in a fast-paced growing sector. I think importantly for us in drug development, we have an impressive clinical development team. For our early research, we partnered with the medical team at Translational Life Sciences, whose work was impressive, and we've expanded our collaboration with them. And we've taken an ownership stake in TLS. Dr. Will Panenka, who's the founder of TLS, he's a duly certified neurologist and psychiatrist, and a Canadian Institute of Health Research funded academic faculty member at the University of British Columbia. Dr. Panenka did his postdoctoral at the UBC and in Harvard, and he maintains an internationally renowned and recognized program in brain injury, mental health, and addiction. So Will's been tremendously important to our company in terms of helping us direct where our research is going and what opportunities there are for us. We recently appointed Dr. Laird Birmingham to the NeonMind's Board of Advisors.
Okay.
Dr. Birmingham is an internal medicine specialist and an epidemiologist and biostatistician with extensive experience in design of clinical trials that are associated with eating disorders, and he's pioneered several internationally recognized treatments. He's been at it for over 30 years. He's well published, and he's actually leading the design of our phase 2 trial for psilocybin and obesity, which we think is quite exciting. On the management team side, Trevor Millar has been recently appointed as the Chief Psychedelic Officer. Trevor's a social entrepreneur who's played a key role in advancing the psychedelic movement over the last 8 years. He currently serves on the board of MAPS Canada, the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, where he's been the chair for the last 2 years as well. He's an active member, and he's one of the founders of the Canadian Securities Association. And he is importantly, he's a former executive director of the Global Ibogaine Therapy Alliance. So he's got just a tremendous amount of experience in this milieu working with these substances.
Thanks for giving our audience a little bit of information on some of your key team members. Are there any milestones our viewers can look out for in the coming weeks and months?
Yeah, sure, Neil. We're quite excited about what 2021 and the prospect of 2021 holds for NeonMind Biosciences. Over the course of 2021, we look forward to announcing the results of our preclinical trial. We hope to initiate, or we expect to initiate, a phase 2 psilocybin trial in obesity. And with this sector rapidly expanding and just ever busy, we will continue to be very active in corporate development, and we expect to bolster our intellectual property position and source additional novel and intriguing concepts for psychedelic development programs for our company.
Got it. Rob, where can our viewers go to keep up with your company? What's your website and social media?
Great. Yeah. So we're very active on social media, and we can largely be found through our website at neonmind.com. And so you can follow us there and use that call sign to see us on a variety of social media interfaces.
Perfect. Rob, welcome again on board to the company. Us at the CSE are looking forward to watching your company succeed and grow. To our viewers, if you like content like this and like to learn about newly listed companies, please feel free to subscribe and share this content. This has been Rob Tessarolo, who is the newly appointed president and CEO of NeonMind Biosciences. Rob, thank you so much for your time, and you have a great day.
Thanks so much, Anil. I appreciate you having me here.
Thank you for tuning in to another newly listed on the CSE. Please feel free to hit like and share this content and hit subscribe if you haven't already.